Hi guys, so today I'm going to be doing a palette collection. It's not just eyeshadows, it's like blushes and highlights and correctors, that type of thing. I'm gonna start with eyeshadow palettes because I have a lot of them. Sorry if you can hear my fan going, it's really hot in my room and it's also thundering and like raining outside, so if you can hear that, ignore it. If you can hear it, no you can't. So I'm gonna start with this Sephora Collections magnetic palette. It was just an empty magnetic palette that I put eyeshadows and things into. And I have no room, so some of these are just sitting on in here. Let's start with these four. These four are Makeup Geek shadows. This one is in Pink Brulee. This one is in Chocolate Brown. Sensuous and So Pale. They came in like a little quad together. I have this Eyemark eyeshadow in Cake. It's just a pinky shimmery color. This is a black shadow that came in like a Halloween set thing that I just put in here. And this is if I can get it up, I can't. This is a Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I don't remember what shade it's in. This ColourPop eyeshadow palette in X's and O's. That's what it looks like. You can definitely tell what shades I've dipped into. And that one. Next I have these two Rimmel London 12 pan palettes. I have the Spice edition and the Color edition. Let me just open these up so you can see them. So this is the Spice. And this is the Color. If you see any of these like little marks, my friend decided to scrape my palettes, all of my like powder products into a little container and mix it all together and see what color it came out with. So if you see those, no you don't. Going back to Makeup Geek, I also have this little quad and I'm Peachless. So this is in the Spotlight, Peach for the Stars, Stay Caution, and Hot Tamale. I really like this shade right here and this shade up here. I also have this Milani Gilded Nudes eyeshadow palette. Focus, okay. Ooh, this one's really dirty. I have this Makeup Obsessions Bella Jordan eyeshadow palette. I really like these three shades, this purple and these two pinks. I have this Pure Cosmetics Trolls World Tour Classical palette. I really only keep this for this middle shade because it's beautiful. You can see the palette. Okay. I also have this Naked Urban Decay Naked Basics palette. All of my makeup is really dirty, ignore that. I really only keep this for the black up here because it's so pretty. I don't use neutral colors very often. I mostly go for very loud, bright colors. Speaking of which, this Beauty Glaze Color Fusion Over the Rainbow palette is my favorite palette I own. I love this palette so much. You can definitely tell which colors I use the most. I love this palette so much. I have this Beauty Runway eyeshadow palette. Ooh, you can see my ring light. In Rose, yeah. This came in like a Christmas set with 3 others and I gave the 2 others away. I have this Art of Makeup color palette. I think it's the color, or Starry Eyes eyeshadow palette. I really only keep it for this blue up here because it's so pretty. This is my oldest palette I have, I think. It's my Profusion Eyes and Cheek palette. It is destroyed. It has no lid anymore. And this shade busted, and so does that one, and so did this one down here, and this one over here. And one of these highlighter shades busted. But I keep it for the memories because I love this palette. I used the crap out of this shade, and this shade up here. And mic drop down here. I loved this palette, and I just don't have the heart to get rid of it yet. I also have this Profusion natural palette. Again, only have it for this shade right here because that's the only shade. This one just looks too green, right? My hands are dirty because of so much eyeshadow. I also have this Beauty Glazed Glitz and Glam eyeshadow palette. These are pressed glitters, and these are like really buttery matte shadows. I really like this top row. I never use this bottom row. My friend used the crap out of them though, you can tell. I have this NYX Ultimate Shadow Palette in Ultimate Utopia. I really love this shade in it. This green right here. And this green up here. Those are really the only two I use out of it. I have this Hard Candy eyeshadow palette in Look Pro, or in Madly in Love. I got this from the Dollar Tree, and I just keep it for this blue and this red. Again, I don't really do nude looks. The only time I do nude looks is when my friends come over. I have this Almay Quad in Pixie Kiss. Does it tell me the color names? No, it does not. But these just quad. I use it for blush mainly because it's like if I mix them all together, it's a shimmery blush. I have this Winky Lux Coffee Kittens palette. I used this one today actually for a cow for a cow look. It's supposed to smell like coffee, and it doesn't smell like coffee. It smells like creamer, which I guess is the vibe. I use all these shades except this one here and this one here. No, these two. I don't use these two very often. Cold Brew and Macchiato. The rest of them I reuse pretty often, I would say, for neutral shadows at least. I have this Sephora Animal Eyes palette from their Christmas collection. I really like this shade here. I got this for Christmas. I have the Wild Wishes palette that went with this. So it has all these shadows, these 3 brow powders, and these 9 face products. And it also has like lip glosses. It came with 1 eyeliner, and I stuck another one in here. And these cream eyeliners that I really like. And then for my last 2 eyeshadow palettes, I have this Icon Pro by Absolute New York eyeshadow palette. Sahara Sunset. 35. That's a lot of color. But they all look the same. Like, all these look the same down here, but you know what? It's fine. I also have this Icon by Absolute London eyeshadow palette in... It doesn't have like a name, but it's just this one. It's the all shimmer palette. Okay, so I also have these 2 concealer palettes, or corrector palettes. This one's by Beauty Runway. It came in the same set that the other one came in. I use this shade, and after I use this shade up, I'm probably going to get rid of the rest of the palette. Then I also have this e.l.f. corrective concealer palette in Erase and Conceal. ignore the cover. I used clay on it, but this is the, I think it's either Wet n Wild or Elf. Does it say on the back? No. It's either Wet n Wild or Elf. Eyes, lips, and face. That should give it away, but I can't remember. It has some blushes, some bronzers, and some powders. And then it also has eyeshadows at the bottom. This is like a Christmas set, and I don't remember where it came from. I think it's Elf. I think Eyes, Lips, and Face is Elf. Next, I have my highlighter palettes. I have this CoverGirl Trio True Blend Stunted palette in Glow Up. These two shades broke, but this one survived, so I just have that one. Then I have this Revlon Galaxy Dream holographic palette. It's really pretty. I use it for these two and the green sometimes. I never use this one over here. Don't you love when they put stickers on them? And then I have this Moonchild Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit. You can definitely tell how much I've used these two and none of the rest of them. Ew, what is that? And then last but not least, I have blush palettes. I have this LA Girl Blushed Babe blush palette in Blushed Babe. I really just got this for this shade right here because it's so pretty. These two I don't use. This one I don't really use. I really just use that one. Ooh, look. My ring light. Woo. I have this BYS Cream Blush Palette. I'm not explaining that. This was in Petal Pathway, but I have this Elf Duo in Bronzed Violet. I really went to town on that. I think this is my first cream product ever. Like blush and highlight for that. This is the True Blend Surf Sculpt palette in Bloom Babe. Again, just got it for this color. You can really tell my... why did I wipe that on the floor? You can really just tell my taste in blush. And then last but not least, I have this Beauty Runway blush palette. I really like these two middle shades. It does not have a shade name. It came in a Christmas set, and I really like it. And it's so tiny, like compared to like the Elf one or the Blushed Babe. It's so tiny and it's so thin. I love it. Well, guys, that was all of my palettes. Ignore the puffy paint. This was all of my palettes. I will have this Profusion Mini Rubies palette that I got for Christmas. It's just these reds that I really like, and I'm about to hit pan on one of these. I think it's that one. And then I also have this Anastasia Beverly Hills Blush Trio in Cocktail Party. My favorite is this middle shade right here. It's so pretty. A few more things before I posted this video. I got this Jolie New York, I don't know, kids makeup basically. I got it from my friend and it's broken, and the lip gloss that was in the middle is taken out, but there's eyeshadows and that for when my friends come over to destroy at their leisure. I also got, ew, there's a wig hair. I also got these quads from my friend. The Color Workshop Institute. This brownie one that's broken, nude, rose, peach, and another nude. That's weird. I also have this CoverGirl Smoky palette. Ew, ignore my hand. Just blacks and whites. I have this Wet n Wild Petal Pusher 8-pan palette. And then last but not least, I got the Juvia's Place Berries palette. And that's all for this video. It's LA Color Mineral Shadow in Butterfly. And my air conditioning came on. I'm tired and I need to go to bed. Okay, bye guys.